in Italy. Do you know Italy? Where it's now 26 degrees. And my cucumber plant is actually growing cucumbers still. I'm shocked. I have one cucumber that has formed a question mark. And I think it's actually wondering, why am I here? But there you go. End of September and I'm growing cucumbers. So now you have interesting information. Okay, so how many of you read books? Now we all read because we're teachers. It's called homework. Reading books is the thing I'm interested in. How many of you have students who read books willingly? Yeah. So what I said yesterday, some is the answer. Because we've all got some students who read willingly, but a lot of students don't. I come from a country where a book is used to hold a door open or closed, rather than actually using it for absorbing information. Students very often, if it's a course book, they buy the book from last year that's got the answers in it, and they're super good because we've got the answers in it. And for some reason they think that teachers are stupid and can't see that. But we're not. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to particularly look at the alley readers, but I will obviously be talking about readers in general, how to use one, and what's different about the alley readers. As you can tell, of course, it's quite heavy. But also the benefits to you, the teacher, and to the student. Now, why do we read? To get information, generally. If you're talking about readers, we have a different idea. You're not getting information, you might be using it for pleasure, but also for vocabulary revision. It's very nice when you have, particularly with little children, a sort of picture dictionary for difficult vocabulary. Sometimes I love the way books have a glossary in them, and they use language which is more difficult than the actual word itself. So you're trying to find out the definition of the word and not help. Often pictures are good, as long as I don't draw them. I don't know about you lot, but my students very quickly learn might be and could be, because when I draw anything on the board, I'm apparently not very good. I know I'm not very good. But obviously presentation, collocation, if you're teaching students that are older and start to have the collocation of words, they go together. Why? Because they do. Is the answer. And we all know that English is a wonderful language, isn't it? Don't you love English? Thank you. I didn't say the English, I said English. The biggest challenges I have is why we have to learn English. I teach in a professional school where they're all boys. They're all boys who are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They think girls at the beginning are pretty and at the end they're pretty So encouraging them to learn English is actually quite difficult. It's one of my biggest challenges. Simply because, you know, why? Until they meet blonde, beautiful girls on the beach, and all of a sudden they learn English very quickly. And yes, it's true, I was saved by this. Grammar. I went to a talk previously, she said, my students hate grammar. Mine love it. They must. I say to them, do you like grammar? Yeah. And I say, it's a simple question. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay? It's not let me think. Okay? Do you like grammar? Yes. So you can say yes, that's acceptable, but the word is yes. That's what I say. But using readers, okay, so introducing, presenting, extending grammar, that's over there, and obviously many other reasons. So, 10 minutes a day. How much, or how long, I should say, do you read every day? Homework aside. Oh, I love that answer. Thank you. That's exactly right. Women are actually really good at multitasking. We can actually do things such as read and listen. We can actually do all sorts of things. We can walk down the street while reading. We can do these things. Apparently men have true. Reading text messages when you're driving is not encouraged, but reading is something we do. 10 minutes a day is a sort of like brushing your teeth. You brush them twice a day. You may take them out and brush them and put them back in, that's your problem, but you brush them, you clean them. In New Zealand, we have a thing of being read to rather than reading. Kids are separated into the literacy and the non-literate. The non-literate love being read to, which of course is our little useful thing, because we have a thing called
OCD.
So you simply stick it in, and obviously that's helpful. So 10 minutes a day is absolutely fine. The thing is, what I said yesterday, and I will have this problem for the rest of my life. How many of you are actually teaching students and they're all at the same level? No, it doesn't happen. It only happens in private language schools where they have 4 or 5 kids and they're all B1. My reality is 27, 26, 28 kids. Levels are from, I'm trying to be nice, 5 words, football is one of them, to possibly an A2 or a B1. Even at university in Italy, students arrive at the first year of university after 13 years of English, and they're in A1-ish, A2, which is pretty sad. I'm sorry. But that's my reality. So walking into a class and saying you're going to read the same book is a problem. Last year I talked about the 5-finger method of choosing books, and if you don't know that, I will be at the stand afterwards. Because that's the best way to help the students choose. And pretty pictures. I talked about illustration previously. Do you like books with pretty pictures? Do any of you cook? Isn't it wonderful when you buy a cookbook and it's got pretty pictures in it? And you look and you go, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. Do you know that? I actually love cookbooks that have the sort of pictures of every single stage when it's difficult. So I understand pretty pictures. I want a book that says, oh, no. And understanding meaning from context, that's where I think it's also important that kids are exposed to language +1 is what I've written, just one thing above what they do. How many of you have a school library? Does anyone not have one? I mean, is it perfectly normal here in Poland in the school library? That you take the students to? Wow. I'm coming to teach here. Wow. Italy, they have school libraries. Some are drop dead, fantastic, really good. Some others have got books that were written by my great-great-great-grandmother, as in really old, and sort of ones you need gloves to touch. I like school libraries where the kids can go and choose books. But in New Zealand, that's perfectly normal. You take the kids into the library, choose 3 books, and we go and read them. Do you have class libraries? Okay. God, it's wonderful in this place. Oh, it's really good. So books are encouraged, as in to read, not just to look at. That's true. That's true. In Italy, it's hot, so we don't read. We only read T-shirts. That's what we do. But I mean, all it says, different sites, different styles. I mean, that's definitely true. And having books even of different shapes is also nice. Possibly not the only one, but why not? Does anyone know this book? You don't know Uncle Jack and the Meerkats? The answer is not yet. Thank you, not yet. This is possibly one of my favourite books, even before it won the award. So I'm going to show you why I love it so much. With a little bit of imagination, children. Uncle Jack. Who is Uncle Jack? He's a man. Good girl, well done. Oh, I'm impressed. Good, okay. Anything else you'd like to share about Uncle Jack? Good girl, I like that. she's looking at the illustration. Anything else about Uncle Jack?
He's old.
I'm sorry, who teaches at a primary school? You know, with the little ones? Don't you love their definition of old? I'm old. Precisely! I love kids. They come and they say, oh, it's my mum's birthday today. She's really old. She's 35. Oh, God, yeah. Sorry, but I remember being 12 and my cousin turned 21, and that for me was ancient. You know, I was like, whoa. And of course, when I got to be 21, I'm a baby. I mean, I was told, I'm a grandmother. I'm actually a grandmother, by the way. And I was told, I was a grandmother at 43. Again, old is all relative, boys and girls. Yes, but he's not done. As my student said to me, my little lovely Giovanni, you are less done than us. Thank you, Giovanni. You can have a taste. Okay, Uncle Jack. So Uncle Jack implies that he's a man, good girl. Looking at the picture, we might imply he's an explorer, an adventurer. Well done. We can also probably assume he's got a brother or a sister. Because I don't know about you guys, but in my country, to become an uncle or an aunt, you kind of need family members. Okay, is that the same in Poland? I'm just checking on that one. Okay. So, Uncle Jack implies he has a brother and a sister, and that sibling has got children. Because otherwise, again, I refer to the word uncle. Okay, clear on that one. Okay. And meerkats. Do we know meerkats? Good girl. You've watched The Lion King, haven't you? The Lion King. Yes. The only way my students know about meerkats is from the film The Lion King. You know the two little animals that one? Yeah, they're meerkats. Okay. Now, children. This book has got lots and lots of characters in it. It's got Uncle Jack, it's got Tom, it's got the twins. Okay. It's got the bad guys, it's got lions, it's got everything. Meerkats. Kind of helps by the title. Okay. Now I have to show you this picture. This is one of my favourite pictures in the book. Can you pick Uncle Jack? Thank you, boys and girls. Okay. And I think you can probably spot the twins. Okay. Did you need some help there? No. Good. Now I love this picture because look at okay, and look at the faces of the animals. I love that. The humans are looking at the animals going, yeah, they're in a cage, yay! And the animals are not happy about this decision. Now this is one of my favourite pictures. Sorry. Now, grammar. Do you like grammar? Yes. Oh, I know you did because I told you you did. You've got great memory. Now, all of the early readers have actually got the grammar that's touched on the back. Okay, so if you think, has it got going to, that's what I want to do, have a look and you'll find some. Now, I put this up because I'm going to show you a picture, and I love this picture, for prepositions and for shops. Now, have a look at this. Now, apart from the fact the street is incredibly clean, which is just the same. Apart from the fact the truck is driving on the wrong side of the road, which tells you what country are we in. The shop, there's my vocabulary for shops, and prepositions, because you've got in front of, you've got. Now what I like about this one is, can you read that? Jim looked in the bus station, Daisy looked in the cafe, May looked in the cinema, but they couldn't find the meerkats. Can you? Good girl! Can you see it now? I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Well done. This, do you know this place? It's a desert. Good, well done, it's a desert. Because meerkats live in the desert. Basically, I will show you this book, by the way, because I love this book. This book is a great book if you want to do clues, if you want to do vocabulary, if you want to do grammar, it's all in one. What more do you want? And I love this. Have you look on the right? The baby meerkats brought the family to meet Uncle Jack and the children. They brought their father and mother and brothers and sisters. They brought their grandmothers and grandfathers. They brought their aunts, uncles, and cousins. Everyone was very happy. Now I love that. I'm sorry, I think that's coming. Apart from copyright. I always say that to my students. I want you all to have a meerkat. No, I don't. There is something very simple. And there, of course, the bad guys. I have to show you the bad guys. Okay? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We don't like bad guys. Now, the other Uncle Jack in the series of the two books I like are Uncle Jack and the Emperor, penguins. Now, I have to show you this because penguins live where, children? Not only in the South Pole, because someone actually said to me the other day, are there any polar bears in the book? And I thought, which kind of penguins in the South Pole and polar bears in the North Pole are my students not understanding? So I thought there was a geography lesson in itself. And then the Bazonki tree is obviously set in Africa. I say obviously because it is just fascinating, really. And this one, I also love this book because you've got bad guys versus good guys. You've got one, not more than one. Now rush out and just read it. Children versus adults. That's the other thing I think is important when you're using books. As I said, in class libraries, it's nice to have books that are for children, books that are for adults, but in the sense of a variety. All the kids can go in it. Last year I talked about drama. Everyone came to that talk. I think drama is wonderful. I've just now been to a talk on drama. I think using children's ability and not to perform is absolutely wonderful. Of course, living in Italy kind of helps. Because Italians communicate a lot by using their bodies and not their mouths. In fact, we were talking before, she said it was wonderful talking in English, we use our bodies. I thought, yeah, we do. The English don't. Have you noticed? The English are very contained in there. It's lovely to see you. The facial expression is the same as, oh God, you're here again. Whereas Italians don't say anything, so we understand. Now, what is different about the books from Annie is called a video multi-role. Now, does anyone know what a multi-role is? Yes, we all do. Good children. And of course, to help things along, it has a sticker on it that says video multi-role. Reading lessons here, okay, which means it's got a video. Now, using a multi-role, how many of you asked yesterday, which was quite scary, how many of you have got an interactive whiteboard in your classes? I'll tell you one coming to this country. Does anyone not have one? Oh, thank you for making me feel normal. Do you have access to one? Oh, lovely, thank you. I think interactive whiteboards are fabulous. They are amazing things. You can do all sorts of things, and particularly with video, they're brilliant. The only thing is, in my school, there's two. There is two. Did I just say there is two? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? There is two. There are two. Because one's upstairs, one is downstairs. But there are quite a few of us using it as sort of a dream, really. I have to buy one. It's so easy to put it into my bag and carry it along. Anyway, if you've got one, you're lucky. And then, of course,
Unless you don't have lines.
Oh, that's the other one, yes.
I had one up here, but I didn't have lines. So you can see it.
Well, you can see lots of white.
Yes, well, you need to imagine I was the same.
There's so many cucumbers growing in the room.
No, things like that are just the practicalities of it. I mean, that's the thing. And also the kids are actually more computer savvy. If you've got computers in the classroom, which you do, I believe, in this country. I can't believe this. This is where this globalization, the world is becoming one. Oh, no, it's not. Who's got interactive whiteboard? Poland! Who has computers? Poland! What has Italy got? Blackboard. If you're lucky, you have a whiteboard. But usually it's because it's been rubbed out so often, isn't it? So here you go. So serious. Now, what I love about all technology, built-in correction, the teacher doesn't have to do. Isn't that wonderful? Don't you love homework? No, actually, I give my children very important homework. Like, go home and tell mum you love them. See, things like that. I do that. Because I've learned to be very careful with homework. Many years ago, I was doing food, and I said to my kids, homework, go home, open the fridge, and see what you can name. Because I was expecting milk, wine, I'm going to call it, meat. I was expecting. Following day, my little one comes to school, and of course there I am going, what was in your fridge? Water, good girl, what was in your fridge? Good girl, what was in your fridge? Fragole. And I said, sorry, she said, in Italian, I don't know how to say fragole in English, so I ate them, strawberries. So I was thinking, oh, your mum must love me. What's your homework? To eat the strawberries, because I don't know what they are in English. Anyway. So, multi-ROM, built-in correction. We can play. The whole thing is, we're actually using a computer and actually playing. I'm going to show you this in a bit. Well, I'm not showing you this because I like to play more. How many of you have got kids that lose things? Thank God you're back to normal. Thank you. I also have the sad problem of children being at mum's house and the books are at dad's or vice versa. I do have that problem. But my kids are very famous for I used to have. So what I do like about the multi-ROM is that you've only got one little thing. Don't lose it. Because you can lose a book, I think they do that on purpose, but you can't lose everything, I hope, at the same time. And healthy competition, you can make a game out of it if you've got an interactive whiteboard. The other thing is, with a computer, with a multi-ROM, taking out the audio, and I will show you this. I think that's one of the best things to do. Very often with video, people tend to play it. But if you take out the volume, take out the noise, it's much better. Or the reverse, have you ever done that? Just shown a white screen and ask them to listen to it to see what they think they're listening to, which is fun. You can also reconstruct the story, reconstruct it, still the picture and describe it. Again, if you've got those lovely interactive whiteboards that they have that we don't, you can write on it, which I think is wonderful. Using a soundtrack, very often, what are you hearing? And then you can do that with it. So would you like to play with one? No, I want to go home. Now, because I love the story and because I love the story and because my computer doesn't want to work. Come on, thank you. You're going to be so sick of this when you go home. Right? Right, now we wait for half an hour. No, I hope. So if technology works, it comes ding, and if technology doesn't work, you just look. I do that with my kids. I go, oh look, and they all look up. Yes. Yeah. Okay, now moving my glass. You're going to regret sitting there. No, I'm joking, I turned it down. Now, would you like to see the story, children?
Yes.
Yes, please, please, very English. Thank you very much. Well, I'm doing prediction because this is my volume. Have I got it in the wrong place?
No, you have it turned down on your computer. You see that you're
Hands up who's really technically minded. Me! That's true because I was... Oh, now you are going to be going out of your mind. I'm sorry.
Uncle Jack and the Meerkat. Jane Catwalk. Copyright Ailey 2011. Uncle Jack was reading a book in the garden. Jim and his sisters, Daisy and May, were playing with a ball. Grumpy the dog began to bark. He wanted to show them something. "What's the matter, Grumpy?" asked Daisy. Uncle Jack, Grumpy, Jim, Daisy and May looked into the next door garden. They saw 2 meerkats in a cage. They were baby meerkats and they were crying. "Let's go and talk to Mr. Smith," said Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack and the children went to see Mr. Smith, who lived next door. Mr. Smith said sadly, "I bought the meerkats in a pet shop, but they never stop crying." "Perhaps they have a toothache or a stomachache," said Jim. "No," said Uncle Jack, "I don't think so. Meerkats have very strong family feelings. I think they are crying for their mothers and fathers." "Oh no," said Daisy and May. Jim pointed to the cage. "Look," he said. "Wykład, Kalahari Desert, South Africa. It's their address. They come from the Kalahari Desert." "I think you're right," said Uncle Jack. He looked at Mr. Smith. "Shall we take them home?" he asked. "Oh, yes, please," answered Mr. Smith. "Yes!" shouted the twins. The next day, Uncle Jack put the things in the hot air balloon. He put in to get the meerkats, but they weren't there. "We must go and look for them," said Davy and May. Uncle Jack, Mr. Smith, Jim, the twins, and Grumpy looked for the meerkats all over the town. Uncle Jack looked in the gym. Mr. Smith looked in the bank. Jim looked in the bus station. Daisy looked in the cafe. May looked in the cinema. But they couldn't find the meerkats. In the end, they found the meerkats outside the pet shop window. They were looking inside. Inside the pet shop were 4 more baby meerkats. They were all crying.
Story. It's just really sick they are. It's like a family.
"I think you are right," said Uncle Jack. "Please buy them, Uncle Jack," said Jim.
Yeah, but it's
"Then
what
we
the
can
money
get them
boys
all home to the Kalahari Desert." Uncle Jack took the baby meerkat and the children carried them home. Now they were ready to go. Jim asked Uncle Jack, "How can we find the family of the baby meerkats is the Kalahari Desert very big? Uncle Jack answered,
Yes,
it is. But I have an idea. Can you give me your MP3, please, Jim?
Theory in itself, and you see how you've got prediction, you've got geography. I mean, I tell you, this is a particular story I absolutely too. I mean, I said to the kids, I did this ages ago, and the baby meerkats have run away, and I said, well, where have they gone? Home. I said, well, hello, Africa, hello. But of course, they have strong family ties, so where do you go, children, when you have a tummy ache? When you're unhappy, where do you go? Mummy. Exactly. Mummy's not there, you go to big brother and big sister, don't you? See, do you love it? Would you like to see the rest of the story? Yes. Now, come on, what's his idea?
What? Calling the meerkats crying? Asked Jim. But Uncle Jack smiled and said, wait and see. Grumpy was very, very grumpy. He barked loudly. The meerkat suddenly stopped crying and looked at Grumpy in surprise. Hey, well done, Grumpy. That's much better, said Jim. Uncle Jack's hot air balloon flew over forests and seas and mountains and rivers and jungles until it arrived at the Kalahari Desert. The baby meerkats were in the twins' school bag. They were very excited. They could see the desert below, and they knew they were nearly home. Uncle Jack wanted to put his idea into action. He said to Jim, help me, please. Uncle Jack attached the MP3 to a loudspeaker and turned it on. What a noise! Suddenly, meerkats began to come out of holes all over the desert. There were a lot of meerkats. The baby meerkats ran to find their family. That was a good idea, Uncle Jack, shouted Jim. Look at all the meerkats. They're coming to find the babies. The baby meerkats brought their family to meet Uncle Jack and the children. They brought their father and mother and brother and sister. They brought their grandmothers and grandfathers. They brought their aunts, uncles and cousins. Everyone was very happy.
I'm not a squirrel or a cat. I'm certainly not a horrible rat. I'm a meerkat and I love to play in the desert all the long day. Reach out your arms all around, tap your feet on the ground. Come with me, be a meerkat and play in the desert all the long day.
But it wasn't just the meerkats who heard the baby meerkats crying. Over the hills came some men in a lorry. The men had nets and cages. They wanted to catch the meerkats and take them to pet shops. The men began to catch the meerkats and put them into cages. Stop! Stop, please! Shouted May and Daisy. Stop! Said Uncle Jack. Meerkats are wild animals. They aren't pets. They want to stay here in the Kalahari Desert. Said Jim, but the men didn't listen. But it wasn't just the meerkats and the men who heard the baby meerkats crying. Over the hills came some lions. They were thinking, yummy, meerkats and men for supper. Our favourite dinner. Uncle Jack and Jim opened the cages and the meerkats ran quickly to their holes. Daisy and May jumped into the balloon. Hurry up! The lions are coming! They shouted to Jim and Uncle Jack and the meerkats. Uncle Uncle Jack and Jim jumped into the balloon. The men were afraid. The lions were between them and their lorry. "Please, let us jump into your balloon," one of the men said to Uncle Jack. "Okay, but promise not to catch meerkats again," said Uncle Jack. We promise," said all the men. The men jumped onto the balloon. Everyone was happy, except the lions, who didn't have men or meerkats. "Phew, thank you, Uncle Jack," said the men. "Don't forget your promise," said Uncle Jack. The lions went away, and the men got into their lorry. It was time for Uncle Jack and the children to go home. They waved goodbye to the meerkats. Jim pointed to the lorry with the men. He started to laugh.
Do you like this, children? Do you want to like this story so much? You've got Becca. You've got lions. You've got geography. And you've got...
I mean, I'm sorry, you're in England and you want to go to South Africa, so you get in a hot air balloon. So you have good Englishmen with logic. But I do like the way he puts food in. I think this is important. Now the whole thing is, I think that the whole thing about today with books that the students already know, the stories that they already know, Alice in Wonderland, is all the films already made. So it's nice to be able to show them something a little bit different. If you want to just do the audio, obviously here you've got the audio. So this, as I said, is a multi-ROM. Stick it into a CD player and you've got the audio. Stick it into a computer and you've got everything. And the nice thing is, what I was saying is, you've got activities that the kids can do either alone or with a partner, or you can make it a competition. I mean, now you've seen the story. If I ask you to do this, I hope you get it right. Because if you don't, we've got some serious problems. Do you remember the name of the dog? Good, boys and girls. Do you remember this one? Do you remember their names? The twins are called Twins, good. And the boy is called, got to remember that one, yeah. And the boy's called, more or less. And what are these? And if you get his name wrong, I hurt you. Okay, well done. So there's something nice and simple that's there. You close that one, and you've got the line. If you're doing exercises in a book, that's absolutely wonderful. But you have a thing called a pencil and a rubber to rub them out. So you thing is using a computer, or if you have an interactive whiteboard, you can do it again. But I love that one, dragging words, drag your face. I love that one. Would you like to drag your face, children? No, dragging face means basically how much you liked the story or not. You loved it, didn't you? See how easy it is to tell kids to do? But I mean, dragging speech bubbles, that was another one as well we did last year as well. Some of these are really easy. Good girl! She gets the first one. Drag a speech bubble. Where did you say it went? Sorry, little one? Uncle Jack, exactly. Well done. So our job as teachers is not to laugh. Our job as teachers is to go, okay. We can check. We can't check until we've finished. It's their address, and then it says check, and it says, well, we should try again. But matching words and pictures, things like that. And the activities you've already seen. The nice thing is it's all in one, and you've got everything together. And so therefore the kids can go away, and you as a teacher can go and have a nice cup of tea somewhere. Maybe. Okay? Maybe. And if you kill it, Tracey, you kill it by pressing home, and then you say good night. What good night? Wow. So I'm going to press myself and actually because my kids go and I'm still sitting again. Now, how many of you have got boys in your classes? Well, my sister doesn't. She teaches in an all-girls school. So it could be that some of you have got no boys. Do your kids like slime? Yeah, I love this one. Right, this one, have I got time to show you a little bit maybe? This one I love because it's called PB3 and the Vegetables. Now, can any of you guess what this book is about?
Hating vegetables and they're attacking more animals. I can't see without glasses.
You're not supposed to, you're supposed to just do the title. It's like my glasses. PB3 and the Vegetables. There probably are some vegetables in this book. Well done, exactly. And yes, there is a little boy in it, but his name's not PB3. I'm trying to think of some poor parent looking at a baby going, oh, PB3. No. PB3 is an alien. I would like to share that with you. And aliens are wonderful because they don't know anything. It's true, they don't. Or not much. But there are lots of vegetables in this book because children love vegetables. Broccoli. Broccoli is like one of our favourite vegetables, isn't it? But they love beetroot. Well, this is something you kind of have to do, it's not compulsory. Like in Italy, do you like pasta? Yes. Do you like pizza? Yes. Because, I mean, that's what kids have. Pasta and pizza. Peas. We like our peas. Oh, dear. I won't show you all of this because you're all going to sit there going, oh, but we have got volume this time because I turned it up. Now, there actually is broccoli from memory. Basically,
Young early readers, PB3 and the
okay, in terms of looking at that, I said to you about illustrations. If you look at that, what do you think the story's about? I told you vegetables, so that one kind of gave it away. Right, it's an alien, unless you happen to have students that fly. I don't know, maybe you do. But in terms of any book with pictures in it, the pictures have to help the student understand what the story is. Here we have a rainbow. I can tell you this is a book for kids. Rainbow, probably colours are involved. And in fact, I know I've read the book. If you're looking, a boy on a bike, looking on the right-hand side, there are some vegetables and fruits that are flying. So this tells you something about the book. Now, if Tracey can do this, possibly. Alright, you're not going to do it from now, you're just going to sit there and complain. Not do it with the computer. Oh, that was nice. All my vegetables disappeared. Looks like my kitchen. Exactly the same. Do you not have a kitchen like that, boys and girls? No, I won't do that to you. I meant too far. Oh, children, what are they? I thought it was sprouts too, actually, but no, they're not. They're actually beans. And if I show you... Ah! This is where I love green potatoes. Now, I do believe potatoes are quite popular in this country. Like the Irish, you eat lots of potatoes. But there, you have a nice little story about...
beans and a bowl of peas. PB3 and Robin are very happy.
No, I won't do that to you because I like you too much. The scary part is... You are stop there, aren't you? Do your kids like karaoke? Now, because some of mine do, some of mine don't. On the audio track, the songs that you've got that are in the books, you've got the karaoke version and the non-karaoke version. So if you do have, I think it's nice that you're able to say to the kids, shall we sing? And then they do. Do you want to see all of this? No, I should just do this one. 2. Oh, can you do that one for me, kids? What's number 1? Guess what vocabulary is tested on this board? What's the number 2? Rainy or raining? And number 3? And number 4? I think it's rainy and rain doesn't strike me as being very exciting. Oh, did I have this check? Oh, aren't you good? Are you pleased with yourselves? You did that all without help. She lies. And this one I like as well, because kids do like secret words and things like that, and obviously you have to, like we just said before, complete them before you can do them. Now, do you know what this is? In my country it's called a truck. See, and I find it difficult to go much as well. Yeah, I know, but it's an English book, it's not a New Zealand book. And I have that problem. But actually, can anyone work out what the secret word is? Because I think this is quite yeah, black apple. Would you like a black apple, children? Doesn't really sound appealing, does it? What colours are apples? You teach your kids red, green, yellow. But I mean, that's nice, a little activity where the answer is completely and utterly absurd. I think that's kind of nice. Anyway, let's get back to work because you have to be here at work. Right.